Imagine a president, the most important man in the country, leaving his big house and pretending to be a poor farmer. Why would he do this? What did he see? What did he learn? And what happened next will truly shock you. This is the story of President Ibrahim Traoré, the leader who wanted to know the real life of his people. He wanted to see the truth with his own eyes, not just hear it from others. He wanted to feel what his people feel every day. This story will show you how one man's journey changed everything. President Traoré lived in a big palace in the city. Every day, he heard reports from his ministers. They told him, the people are happy, the farms are growing, the schools are full. But deep in his heart, President Traoré was not sure. He saw the tired faces of people in the city. He heard whispers about hunger and hard times in the villages. He wanted to know the truth. One night, he called his best friend, Amadou. He said, I want to leave the palace. I want to go to the villages. I want to live like a poor farmer. I want to see what life is really like. Amadou was shocked. But you are the president. It is too dangerous. But President Traoré was sure. He said, if I do not know the truth, I cannot help my people. That night, President Traoré took off his fine clothes. He put on old, dirty clothes. He put dust on his face and hands. He wore a simple hat. He looked in the mirror and saw a poor farmer, not a president. He left the palace quietly, with only a small bag and a hoe. He walked through the dark streets, his heart beating fast. He was excited and a little afraid. He was now Issa, a poor farmer from a faraway place. When the sun came up, Issa reached a small village. The village was busy. Women were carrying water. Children were playing in the dust. Old men were sitting under a tree, talking. Issa watched everything. He saw a woman, Mariama, carrying a heavy bucket of water. She looked tired. Issa ran to help her. The bucket was very heavy. The sun was hot. Issa felt sweat on his face. He asked, why do you walk so far for water? Mariama said, our well is dry. We must walk a long way every day, but we have no choice. Issa felt sad. He never knew water could be so hard to get. Issa followed Mariama to her home. Her house was made of mud bricks. The roof was made of old tin sheets. Inside, it was dark and cool. Mariama's children sat on the floor, waiting for her. She gave them water to drink. Issa saw how happy the children were. Even with so little, Mariama offered Issa a small bowl of porridge. It was thin and watery, but she shared it with a smile. Issa thanked her and ate slowly. He thought about the big meals he had in the palace. He realized how different life was here. After breakfast, Issa went to the fields with the farmers. The ground was dry. The plants were small. The farmers worked hard, but the harvest was poor. An old farmer said, the rain did not come. The land is tired. We do our best, but it is not enough. Issa asked, what do you do when you have no food? The old man said, we eat less. Sometimes, we go to bed hungry. Issa's hands hurt from working. His back was sore. He was tired and hungry. He thought, how do these people do this every day? Issa watched the farmers use simple tools. They had no machines. They used hoes in their hands. The sun was hot. The work was slow. Issa tried to help, but he was not strong like the others. He made mistakes. The farmers laughed kindly and showed him how to plant seeds. Issa listened and learned. He saw how the farmers helped each other. If one person was tired, another would take over. If someone was sick, the others brought food. Issa saw real teamwork. At noon, the farmers rested under a tree. They shared a small meal of millet and beans. Issa listened to their stories. They talked about their families, their hopes, and their worries. One man, Yakuba, said, I want my children to go to school. I want them to have a better life. Another woman, Awa, said, I wish we had a clinic. My mother is sick, but we have no medicine. Issa felt their pain. He wanted to help, but he could only listen. After lunch, Issa walked to the market. The market was small. There were a few stalls with vegetables, some dried fish, and old clothes. The sellers called out to people, hoping to make a sale. Issa saw a young girl selling peanuts. Her name was Fanta. She smiled and offered him a handful. Issa bought some peanuts and asked, why are you not in school? Fanta said, my mother has no money for books. I help her by selling peanuts. Issa felt sad. He remembered his own childhood, full of books and teachers. In the evening, Issa returned to Mariama's house. She was cooking dinner over a small fire. The children played nearby. Mariama's husband, Musa, came home from the fields. He was tired and quiet. He greeted Issa and sat down. They ate together, sharing a simple meal. After dinner, they talked about the village. Musa said, life is hard, but we have each other. We help our neighbors. We share what we have. Issa saw the love in their family. He saw their strength. At night, the villagers sat around a fire. They told stories. They laughed. But Issa could see the worry in their eyes. They talked about problems. The school had no books. The teacher had not been paid. Some children could not go to school. The clinic had no medicine. The people felt forgotten. A small boy looked at Issa and asked, "Do you think the president knows about us? Does he care?" Issa wanted to say yes, but he was not sure. He said, "Maybe he will care if he knows the truth." The next day, Issa helped an old woman named Fatou fix her roof. Her house was falling apart. The roof leaked when it rained. Issa climbed up and helped her put new tin sheets on the roof. Fatou thanked him with a big smile. She gave him a small piece of bread. Issa felt happy to help. He saw how small acts of kindness made a big difference. Issa also visited the village school. The building was old. The walls were cracked. The roof had holes. The teacher, Mr. Diallo, was kind but tired. He had not been paid for months. He taught the children with old books and broken chalk. Issa sat in the classroom and watched. The children listened carefully. They wanted to learn. Issa asked Mr. Diallo, "Why do you keep teaching?" Mr. Diallo said, "These children are our future. If I stop, who will teach them?" Issa was moved by his dedication. One afternoon, some men from the city came. They shouted, "Pay your taxes, or we will take your goats." The villagers were scared. Issa stood up and said, "These people have nothing left. Leave them alone." The men laughed. "Who are you to tell us what to do?" Issa said, "I am one of them. I will not let you hurt my people." The men left. Angry, the villagers cheered. They felt hope for the first time. Issa stayed in the village for many days. He learned their songs. He ate their food. He saw their pain and their strength. He saw mothers giving their last bread to their children. He saw fathers working from morning to night. He saw neighbors sharing what little they had. He saw children with big dreams, even when they were hungry. Every night, Issa looked at the stars and thought, "I must help these people. I must change things." Issa also visited the village well. The well was almost dry. Women waited in line for hours to get water. Some days, there was not enough for everyone. Issa helped carry water with Mariama. He saw how heavy the buckets were. He saw how tired the women were. He thought about the clean water in the palace. He realized how precious water was. One day, a storm came. The wind was strong. The rain was heavy. The villagers ran to protect their homes. Issa helped Mariama and her family cover their roof. The storm lasted all night. In the morning, many houses were damaged. The fields were flooded. The villagers worked together to repair the damage. Issa saw their courage. He saw their hope, even in hard times. Issa also met the village healer, old Mama Cuddy. She used herbs and plants to treat sick people. She had no real medicine. She did her best, but sometimes it was not enough. Issa watched her care for a sick child. The child had a fever. Mama Cuddy made a tea from leaves and prayed for the child. Issa wished he could do more. He thought about the big hospital in the city. He thought, why can't every village have good medicine? Issa spent time with the children. They played simple games with stones and sticks. They laughed and ran. They asked Issa to tell them stories. He told them stories about brave people and happy endings. The children listened with wide eyes. They dreamed of a better future. Issa promised himself he would help them. One evening, the village had a small feast. Issa stood up. He took off his hat. He said, "I have something to tell you. I am not just Issa. I am President Ibrahim Traoré." The villagers were shocked. Some cried. Some could not believe it. Mariama said, "Why did you come here?" President Traoré said, "I wanted to see the truth. I wanted to feel your pain. I promise you, things will change." The next day, he went back to the palace. He called his ministers. He said, "No more lies. No more empty promises. We will build wells. We will pay teachers. We will help farmers. We will listen to the people." He sent help to every village. He visited the people. He made sure they got what they needed. The story of the president who became a farmer spread everywhere. People started to believe again. They worked harder. They helped each other. They dreamed of a better life. President Traoré became known as the people's president. He was the leader who walked in the dust, ate with the poor, and fought for justice. Children listened to his story and learned that true leaders care for their people. They learned that kindness is strength. They learned that one person can change everything. And if you ever go to Burkina Faso, you might hear someone say, "Remember the president who became a farmer? He changed our lives." This story shows us that anyone can make a difference, no matter who they are. So, my friends, this is the amazing story of President Ibrahim Traoré. the leader who became a poor farmer to understand his people and change their lives. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more powerful African tales, please subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us share more stories of hope, courage, and real change. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. And remember, one person can make a big difference. See you in the next story.